This definitely needs some work. Good morning. It is just before 8 on Saturday morning and I'm just waiting for the farmer's market to open. It opens at 8 and I just want to go and get some bits for the weekend, which is something I really like doing on a Saturday morning. But I woke up this morning with a feeling that I feel like probably a lot of us wake up with at the weekend, which is this feeling of what am I going to do today? How am I going to make the most of my weekend? I don't want to waste my weekend. You know, what should I be doing? And I think that's especially sort of how I feel this time of year. In the lead up to Christmas, there's so much going on, there's so much that I want to do, and I especially get the feeling that I don't want to miss out, and that I want to be, you know, going to all the things, doing it all at this time of year. But also, if you think about nature, winter is kind of the season when everything really slows down, things go into hibernation, and I just wonder how much of sort of Christmas being almost one of the, possibly the busiest time of year for all of us, how much that really directly goes against what our bodies and what nature is kind of telling us to do. But today at least I'm going to try and have a bit of a quieter day and just do all the things that I truly really want to do and none of the things that I feel like I should be doing. You know, I am unfortunately fiercely competitive when it comes to the farmers market, and I have this feeling that if I get to the market after 8, all of the good produce and all of the good food and everything will be gone. I've already made myself and drunk half of a cup of tea. The farmers market was a little bit weird today because last night we actually had a huge storm here, and I think as a result the storm's kind of carried on a little bit into this morning, and I think as a result lots of the stalls didn't really open today. I think just because, I don't know, maybe they thought that nobody would be out because of the storm, or maybe their things would get blown away because there was some insane like high speed wind last night, so it could have been that. But anyway, so it was a bit of a mixed success. I just got a few veggies and things, nothing interesting. But what I did get while I was out, because I walked past my favourite flower stall, and I just thought I would get some kind of festive-y flowers. I thought these were gorgeous. We made them up when we were there. There's thistles, these red berries, eucalyptus, a bit of everything, but I think that's very wintry, and I'm desperate to add a bit of, honestly, Christmas into the house, because I can't remember whether I said this or not last week, but basically, a bit of a huge issue. My Christmas decorations are all in the loft in this house, and the loft door has completely broken, and I tried to open it, no luck. My dad's actually been up to try and get it open for me, no luck, can't get into it at all. So I think we're at the point where basically, maybe a bit more, I think we're at the point where basically we're going to have to get a carpenter or a joiner or somebody professional to actually take the entire loft door frame down and put, you know, and reinstall a new loft door, which is just great. So anyway, that's what all of my Christmas decorations currently are. So even though it's December, when is it, December next week? When you're seeing this actually, I think, will be the 1st of December, I still don't have any Christmas decorations at all out. And the other day I took down all of my autumn bits and just packed them away. They're actually all in a box down there. So now my house just feels really empty and really not Christmassy at all. Which is why tomorrow I think we'll go out, and even if I just buy a Christmas mug and a Christmas candle, just something, you know, to tide me over until I can go into the loft. The other thing is I want my real tree this year in the house in the Cotswolds, because obviously that's happening in a couple of weeks. So I don't want to buy a real tree for here. So anyway, long story short, I thought it would be nice to have something that feels slightly festive in the kitchen for the time being. And obviously, like I said, tomorrow we can go out and see if there are any other little just bits, you know, like I said, a mug, a candle, something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna go and get changed now to take Rue out for her walk. I wanted to show you a couple of things. There's actually a lot to show you, like new kind of in my wardrobe over the last few weeks, because we've been down in the Cotswolds so much that I've not actually had my whole wardrobe to show you everything. But I thought as I'm getting changed, I'll just show you a couple of the bits. First and foremost, let's not even discuss, yes, this is the exact same hoodie that I was wearing in white this morning in chocolate brown, and I don't want to talk about how many of these sets I own, because I don't think it can be normal, but they're my new comfort set. I actually genuinely cannot, despite the eye-watering price point, because I will say Aloe is just another level. If you've ever shopped on Aloe, you will know. So these come in crew neck, and also I think like a zip up and lots of different things, but I'm just a hoodie kind of girl, so I have them as hoodies, and they are such a heavyweight, thick, warm, knitted fabric. The quality actually is really, really good on these, and since I discovered them, they're literally all I've worn. And I also think it's not a proper tracksuit. It's slightly more sort of put together than a traditional tracksuit. So I honestly throw it on for everything, like nail appointments and things like that, just all of my appointments, all of my errands. Definitely a good airport outfit. But I'm not denying that the price is a little bit painful on these. What I was actually going to show you is my leggings, which unhelpfully I don't know if you can quite see, but actually the main feature of them that I wanted to show you is this V. So they're Lululemon. I am so loyal to Lululemon just because I don't think anything quite feels the same as the Lululemon fabric, but I have seen other brands and owned other brands that do the V leggings, and it's so flattering. So that's one thing I wanted to show you, but the other thing I wanted to show you was this jacket. I've not actually worn it yet. They did very kindly send it to me. I've never seen a coat that's more me. It's kind of like a country coat that's slightly more structured and slightly more put together. So, and oh, my Penelope Silvers boots, wherever they are, I have to show you. Actually, let me go and get them. One sec. Okay, so these actually only arrived 2 days ago. So these are box fresh. They still have all the cardboard in and everything. But I cannot describe my love for these boots to you. I tried them on when I was in the Penelope Silvers shop that they have in Stowe, Stowe on the Wold, if you wanted to look it up. And I'm out of breath from running up the stairs, but I just cannot tell you how flattering and how beautifully made these boots are. So practical, which I think is the main thing. They're just the kind of boot that's going to get better as you wear it. These are also the boots that Kate Middleton wears religiously. If you actually Google Penelope Silvers, pretty much all of the photos that will come up are of Kate Middleton. So if they're good enough for her, they really are just so well made. And I'm such a fan of buying things that you know are really going to stand the test of time and having things in your wardrobe that you're just going to love for years and years and years to come. But anyway, the reason that I actually thought of these, sorry, just 1 second. The details on these and the leather on the inside, gorgeous. I feel like this coat is the sort of outfit that's perfect for when you, let's say, are going on a dog walk, but then you've got a pub lunch. So you kind of want to look somewhere in between. You want to be practical and all of that for the dog walk, but then you also want to look just slightly more put together and less muddy wellies and all of that if you're going for a pub lunch after. That sounds like something really niche, but it's actually something that I feel like happens a lot. Or when I go for a walk with mum and then we just want to pop into like the shops in Stowe or something, it's just nicer to have an outfit that's a bit more versatile. But also with both of these, you can wear them, you could wear them anywhere. You could wear them in the middle of London if you wanted to, or you can just wear them on dog walks. But I'm just going to put this on. I'll have to put the camera down to show you. Okay, I've just brought you into my bedroom. They are, honestly, I never ever want to take them off. And actually, because they're so practical, I never really need to ever take them off again. I won't do everything up now because I am going to put my wellies on for today's walk, just because I know it'll be really, really muddy, and I can't bring myself, as practical as these are, I can't bring myself for their first outing to get them completely filthy. But I mean, they're just gorgeous. And like I said, you can easily dress them up or dress them down, and they go so well with this coat. I'm obsessed. Do not ever want to take them off my feet. Just about to run out the door to walk Rue, and I thought I'd better quickly pop some more deodorant on, because one thing about winter is you get so wrapped up, and then as soon as you go indoors anywhere, or as soon as you walk up a hill on a dog walk, you're sweating. So the deodorant that I've been using for as long as I can remember is Wild Deodorant, who I'm working with again on this part of the video. So I know something that I've talked about before is the fact that my mum actually taught me the importance of using a natural deodorant as soon as I started wearing trying deodorant. So something that I had been mindful of my whole life. And while deodorants are made with safe natural ingredients, there's no parabens, no harsh chemicals, no aluminium salts. They have things like shea butter and coconut oil, which are really nourishing on the skin, and they're cruelty free and they're vegan. They also smell amazing. So this has currently got the scent that I've probably used the most over the years, which is fresh cotton and sea salt. It just smells so clean. I also have to show you the collaboration that they've done with Emma Bridgewater, because the packaging on these is just so cute, and it comes in the deodorant, body wash, and also this little lip balm that I'm actually going to pop into my pocket for this dog walk. The deodorants still offer 24-hour protection, so you're not compromising at all on effectiveness. But what I think makes Wild really, really special, these cases are completely reusable. So this can be your case for life, and then once your deodorants run out, you just pop one of the refills in, and there's 14 different scents to choose from. And they are currently having the biggest sale that they've ever done for Black Friday. So you can get 33% off if you use the code Hannah33. That is only until tomorrow being the 2nd of December. Pop the code that you need on screen here, and also any links that you might need down in the description. So let's get Rue out on her walk. It's turned into the most gorgeous afternoon. So Rue and I have just come to one of our absolute favourite walks. Rue's currently crying because she wants to get out of the car. You want to go for walkies? We're at one of my absolute favourite walks, and Rue, as you can hear, absolutely loves it here. We're going to go for a nice walk, Rue? She's saying, yeah, I thought so, Mum, but now you're just talking. But yeah, it's so beautiful here, especially when it's really sunny like this. So let's go for a walk. It is honestly breathtakingly beautiful today. It's the kind of thing that really reminds me why getting outside and walks is so important for me. It really just puts things into perspective when you can see how beautiful and like how much there is to be grateful for, and how, yeah, just how lucky we are to be honestly alive and be able to witness these things. I think walks are so especially good for me. I think they're so good for all of us. It's so peaceful here that it really feels like Rue and I are the only two people in the world, and I love somewhere that makes you feel that way, because I think life is so busy so often that moments of just calm and still are so good for us, and they really, yeah, just really grounding, I suppose. I mean, look at this place. All I can hear is the trickle of water coming from somewhere over there. I think where the lake turns into a stream. You having fun, girlie? Come on, you can do it. Good job. Come on, let's go. Good job. Okay, we're back at home. I just had some work bits, some emails, things like that to do on my laptop this afternoon. And now it is time to cook dinner, and Rua's just inspecting what we've got going on. So I'm going to make like a creamy kale, lentil, gnocchi kind of dish tonight. It's inspired by a Deliciously Ella recipe, as so many of mine are, but I always, like I always say, I always tweak them a bit just depending on kind of what I've actually got in the cupboards and things like that. So I will, of course, if it turns out good, I will leave the recipe in the description, but I'm so excited just to have something really hearty and just filling and warming, and I'm such a fan. There's nothing I love more than kind of like an autumn winter hearty comfort meal, like an oven dinner. This is not an oven dinner, but it's in the casserole dish, so it's all the same. And then I'm going to do what I've been doing every evening this week. I'm going to light the fire. I'm going to read some of my book, which I will talk to you about, because I'm actually reading 2 books at the moment, one fiction, one non-fiction, very out of character. But it's not, for this time of year, it's very out of character. And yeah, fire on, cozy up, read a book, cup of tea, and probably continue binge watching Tell Me Lies, but we can talk about that later. So let's make some dinner. You already, what's that? You already had yours, baby. Just to quickly show you what I'm using. I've got some gnocchi, I've got some chestnut mushrooms, kale, cherry tomatoes. These are some lentils. Doesn't specify what kind, just lentils. And this is actually a solid block of coconut cream. And then of course my trusted M&S chopped garlic, which really has changed the game, honestly. It is like a lazy cook's dream having that. But I think that's what we're working with, and also I'll need some stock. Just stood at my kitchen counter and ate my entire first serving of this in about 2 mouthfuls. This is delicious, and do you want to know the best thing about this? It's so easy to make. It took probably in total 25 minutes, if that. There's minimal prep, the cooking is so easy, hardly any washing up because it's 1 chopping board, 1 pan. So easy. If you're wanting like a weekday dinner that takes no time to prep, no time to cook, but is still really hearty, really warming, so delicious, and actually full of goodness. It's full of fibre, loads of different veggies, protein from the lentils. It's honestly absolutely delicious. So I will make sure I put the recipe in the description. this is honestly my dream evening setup. This is what I've been doing all week. Fire on, candles on, and then if I'm reading a book, I'll put on the TV, you know, when you can just put like background, evening jazz, you know, the YouTube videos that you can find that are like Christmas in a coffee shop or in a bookshop or something, you know, just something atmospheric. And then I will read, but I wanted to talk to you about 2 books. The one that I'll read tonight and the one that I always read in the evenings, because evenings are for comfort reads. And this is the definition so far of a comfort read. And I say so far because we really need to address the comments that I made about the book Small Things Like These a couple of weeks ago, because when I started talking to you about that book, I only actually read the first sort of couple of chapters, and I really hadn't got sort of like the scope of what the book's really about. And it actually does have quite a sad underpinning sort of theme to it all. And I think kind of the point of the book, I don't know, I don't want to ruin it for anyone that's not already read it yet, but I was slightly wrong on the Christmassy tone. It's set at Christmas and there are parts of the book that are really cozy and Christmassy, but I don't think that was meant to be the overall message of the book. And on the note of that, I'm actually going to go and see it in the cinema tomorrow night, but I'll talk more about that tomorrow. I won't get too much into that now. But anyway, that's the reason I'm now going to caveat. Every time I talk about a book, I'm going to caveat it with how far through I am. So this is how far through I am of this book. So I'd say I'm a good few, you know, I'm a good third of the way through, I would say. And so far, even though one sort of tragic thing has happened, it's still, the general tone is definitely a comfort read. I am obsessed with this. This was fully a recommendation from you. Lots of you had said that you thought I would love this book, and you know me so well because I adore this book. I'm absolutely loving it. I mean, look at the chapter I'm about to start. This sweet little drawing. Every single chapter, well, every character actually has got their own little drawing, which I just absolutely love. But anyway, can't recommend this enough. It's a good chunky book, but I have to say it's not intimidating at all. It's a really easy read. And I'm absolutely loving it. It's completely Christmassy, so I would say definitely read it at this time of year. If you need something to get you through now to Christmas, this is your book. Yeah, it's really, I'm loving it so far. And then, slightly out of character for me for this time of year, I know that sounds funny, but I feel like around this time of year, I really only read fiction. I just want the coziness of it all, the Christmas of it all. And then in the new year, I kind of read a lot more non-fiction than fiction. I was kind of just feeling like I wanted some inspiration, and I always find a non-fiction book really helps me just to gain perspective, find new motivation and things like that. So this one is a bit of a funny one because I cannot remember where I first heard about this, but I wrote it down as books that I must read for some reason. That's not very helpful, is it? But basically, I'm going to read the back of this book to you, and it's kind of like reading it to myself. I have actually started it, but I'm only, you know, a few pages in. So it says, what if you stop trying to do everything? To find peace of mind, we must confront the ultimate time management problem, the question of how best to use our ridiculously brief time on the planet, which amounts to the average of about 4,000 weeks. Oliver Burkeman's book is an uplifting, engrossing and deeply realistic exploration on how to face our finitude by embracing rather than denying our limitations, and in doing so unlock a more meaningful life. So I get the sense it's one of those books that just helps you to put things into perspective. And I also think anything around time management could be helpful for me at the moment, because I do think a lot of how I was feeling last week is due to sort of overwhelm, and as I mentioned, it's not even, there's a lot going on and there's a lot of real things going on, like moving house and all of that, but I'm just somebody who has a very, very busy mind all the time anyway. So I think when real life also then gets really quite busy, if I'm not, you know, looking after myself and that sort of thing, it can all just get a little bit much for me. I'm hoping this will help with that. And if you are also feeling overwhelmed at this time of year, which I know so many of us are, then maybe this could be something to add to your Christmas list, especially for the new year. That's it for this evening, because I'm just going to sit here now and read my book and chill for the rest of the evening, take my makeup off, put my pyjamas on, all of that. I will actually see you bright and early in the morning because we've got a Pilates class. and I have got this real routine going on with my Pilates classes, which you'll see in the morning, so I won't talk any more about it. So I will see you then. I am outside Pilates. I'm doing my little morning routine that I like to do, honestly, most days. I call it a morning routine. It's so simple. I wake up, I normally do either the 8 a.m. or the 9 a.m. class. Usually the 8 a.m. So normally I get up at 7, I make my AG1, which I was late today, so I had to bring it with me. And then I go to my favorite coffee shop, I get a coconut matcha, I drink it on the drive over to Pilates. I listen to the radio because I'm always in the car either at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. like today if I'm doing the later class. So I get the news headlines for the day, drink my matcha, get to Pilates, do my class, and then if I'm in the mood for something sweet, I'll go next door, which is actually just behind me right now, to Modern Farmhouse and get one of their, it's like a superfood protein smoothie. And that just really starts my day in the best way, and I'll go home and start the day. So we're starting the day in a good way this morning. It's my favourite way to start the day. Just going to actually hydrate before I go into this class. I also have on my new Lululemon zip-up jacket. It's the one with the gold zip that I know actually divides opinions on TikTok. I've seen a TikTok go viral that says it looks like the TK Maxx, or the TJ Maxx because it was American, but basically the TK Maxx version of a Lululemon jacket. But I love it, and it goes with all of my gold jewellery. I also have my new Lululemon leggings that I showed you yesterday on. So I do feel like having a good set that you feel good in makes all of the difference. And then I'm going to go home, get myself showered, get ready for the day, and then we're going to go Christmas shopping this afternoon just to get some bits, like I said, to make my house feel slightly more festive. Have I been Christmas shopping in Cheshire? I don't think so. So I don't actually know what the shops have in. I'm actually going to do some baking this afternoon as well, because I think my contribution to Christmas lunch this year, or Christmas Day this year, is going to be the sweet kind of like dessert bits. So I think I'm going to get practicing today, because I think Christmas is roughly a month away as I'm saying this, so I need to get going on that. So let's go and get this class done. Okay, we're home, we're showered, we're dressed, we're ready for the day, and I'm about to actually pop out and do that Christmas shopping that we were talking about. When I'm out, I need to get some bits for baking too. I just want to get some of these, are they called ramekins or ramekins? I don't know, but I don't own any, just something to put the little Christmas, they're not Christmas puddings, but this Christmas dessert idea that I've got. So easy. It will take us 25 minutes when we get home. I need to get them while we're out. And also, like I said yesterday, I'm just desperate to get, even if it's just a Christmas mug, just something. I'm wearing this little wrap cardigan. I absolutely love this cardigan. Do you know why? Because it's all built in to one, and I love something where you don't have to think about how to layer things, it's just all done for you. I'll make sure that I've linked this, and also I feel like we've talked about a lot of things over the last couple of days, so anything I've worn, anything I've mentioned, I will link it in my description for you. These are like a really deep dark chocolate brown velvet trouser, and I had some velvet trousers last year that I absolutely wore to death. They're black velvet and I wore them for pretty much any dinner, any event, anything. They're so flattering, and I just feel like the velvet elevates them slightly. So I thought if I got some chocolate brown ones, then they would be a little bit more daytime. I will try and show you the trousers in a mirror at some point today. I think I'm going to go to a couple of more local shops to me that I've not been to since they put their Christmas stock in, and then probably Home Sense, because I feel like that's where we'll get the baking bits. So let's go. Okay, next we're going to Homebird. There's a few of them in and around Cheshire. There's one in Wilmslow, one in Altrincham, don't know where else they are. I always really like it in there. I feel like they have a really good mix of bits. And then I think we'll head over to Home Sense to get the baking bits, and obviously also have a look at their Christmas decorations. So let's go. I don't know if I can resist one of these, but they also have a bigger one. This is the bigger one, so I don't know if you can tell, but it's easily double the size. These are the cutest thing I've ever seen, but you'd never want to light it. They also have these little ones. I think these are really pretty too, with a candle in. I love these colours. Okay, we're back at home. I didn't end up finding a mug or even a candle. It was one of those trips where there were loads of things that I quite liked, but nothing that I really loved. And when you have more than enough, like I do, I feel like I can only really justify buying things that I really, truly love and think that I'll keep for years and years and years. So I didn't end up getting anything, except I did pick up these. These are just from Home Sense. I think they're the Sophie Conran ones that they often have in Home Sense. So we're going to do the baking that I've been talking about all day. I cannot explain to you how easy this is. I'm really fighting against my natural instincts to just eyeball this so that I can try and give you some sort of measurements of some kind. But really, it's pretty hard to go wrong. There's only a few ingredients. I'll show you them in a second. It's essentially like a sort of chocolate pudding, melt in the middle type thing, but I'm going to try and dress it up so it's a little bit more Christmassy. I have some ideas, some last minute ideas. It's going to be a bit rustic, but we're going to go with it. Today we're doing entry level Christmas cooking with Hannah, and then maybe as we go, you know, as the weeks go on and we get a bit closer to Christmas, maybe we can, you know, go to intermediate. I don't know if we'll quite make it to advanced this year, but we'll see. But like I said, these are perfect if you get put on last minute Christmas dessert duty. You can honestly whip these up, probably with what you have in your cupboard, and within, you know, half an hour max. And like I said, you can't really go wrong with them. So let me show you what goes into them. So I'm pretty sure this is everything that we need. We've got cocoa powder or cacao powder. We have got self-raising flour, coconut sugar, 2 squares, well I'm only making 2, so 2 or however many you're making, squares of chocolate, some olive oil, and then I do actually need just some almond milk, soy milk, any sort of plant-based milk. And I think that's everything. But like I said, I'll put the recipe in the description. Cutest thing you've ever seen. I'm so impressed. I didn't make enough mixture, so they're a little bit flat, but they did rise, it's just there wasn't enough. So I'll make sure I kind of double up the quantities for the recipe in my description. The other thing that I will admit is this was a very last minute idea. So this is a very rustic version and not entirely or not at all, well, the toppings are not at all edible, in the sense that this is holly off a bush that's in my garden, definitely not edible. And the berries, yeah, you guessed it, they're off the flowers that I bought yesterday. But I know that you could definitely get edible versions of all of this, and it turned out so cute. Also, as you saw, it took 5 minutes to make, 15 minutes in the oven, the whole thing done and dusted inside 20 minutes, which I just think is perfect because we're all so busy. So if you do recreate these, please tag me in your Instagram stories. The other thing is definitely serve them straight away as soon as they come out of the oven. Otherwise the chocolate on the inside will set, which is what had happened to mine because I took pictures and obviously I was filming and faffing around, and then the chocolate had already started to set a little bit by the time I cut into one. If you make them, make sure you send me a picture or tag me in your Instagram story or something because I want to see them. But anyway, for now, I'm actually just going to warm up the rest of dinner last night, have that quickly, because like I said, I'm going to the cinema tonight, going to see small, I always want to say small great things. It's small things like these. the book that I read by Claire Keegan recently, and a little bit like I was saying yesterday, I'll be really interested to see sort of the tone of this movie. It's got Cillian Murphy, Cillian, no idea. I think it's Cillian Murphy. I do know that he's honestly one of the loves of my entire life. I love everything that he does, so I'm so excited. I really can't wait. So I'm going to quickly eat my dinner and then we'll go to the cinema together. Okay, sorry for the rubbish lighting, but obviously it's dark and I've just come out of the cinema and I wanted to give you my thoughts as soon as I came out because I absolutely loved that movie. I feel like I don't know whether it will be for everybody, just purely because it is like a slower paced film and obviously not that much happens. A bit like in the book, if you've read the book, not that much happens. But obviously Cillian Murphy was amazing. I am honestly in love with that man and everything he does. I think he's just... Peaky Blinders was the start of my love affair with him, and then Oppenheimer, he was incredible too. Just in everything he does, he's so good. So naturally he was amazing in it, and I loved the feel of the movie and I just loved it. But what I will definitely say is it very much reinforced what I was saying. I think I was saying this yesterday, that I took completely, maybe not completely the wrong tone. I'm not going to say that because I feel like the point of books is they're open to your own interpretation, but the movie definitely made it clear what the emphasis was supposed to kind of be on. I don't know, are you focusing on my... Sorry if all of that was focused on the steering wheel. I've just tried to zoom you in a bit. But yeah, it was incredible. Cannot recommend enough. It does depend what kind of movie you like. If you're somebody that wants, you know, a lot of action or a love story or something, then you might not like it. But if you quite like sort of indie, slower films, for example, one of my absolute favourite movies is The Only Living Boy in New York. And again, that's kind of a slightly, I don't know how you'd describe it, offbeat. I'm probably using that completely wrong. But yeah, I loved it, absolutely loved it. This has probably been absolutely horrendous to watch because the light's so bad and I can see it keeps focusing on the steering wheel. I'm trying to come really close to it so it doesn't focus on the steering wheel. But what I was going to say is I'm actually going to wrap up the vlog here. It's quite late now, so I'm just going to go home, chill, go to bed. And I think this vlog, I did promise you a long vlog, so I think this vlog's been a longer vlog. Let me know if you like the longer vlogs, if this is long. I won't know until I've edited it. I never really know, but it feels like a longer vlog, so let me know if you like the longer vlogs. Anyway, next week is actually a really busy and exciting week. It's going to be a really full-on first, well, the whole of December is going to be really full-on actually, because I'm going to Paris in a few days and then we've got the house move, and I'm actually going down to the Cotswolds for a few days because all of the Christmas markets in the Cotswolds are in the next sort of week or so. So all of the ones that I go to with my mum every year, like Broadway Market and things like that. So I thought we would do that. I'll take you along to that, of course. So yeah, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're not feeling too overwhelmed with this time of year, and if you are, please take this vlog and what we talked about yesterday morning as your sign just to take some time just for yourself. And I can't wait to catch up with you next week. Bye guys.